Mariachi Estrella was one that really kind of shocked people because it was all female, and it was different because there was nobody else really like that. I mean, you can look at Mariachi Reina and a few others that were first in their kind in terms of maybe they were a little more showy, but to come from a church choir to be in the heartland of the country, which is not a big Hispanic population. I mean, this group was a trailblazer, and they really set kind of a bar for representing the city of Topeka and the state of Kansas when they started playing. Everybody loved this group, and they were really exciting. It was different to see an all-female group.
The focus at that time was trying to gain your roots, either through the Chicano movement or through the arts. And one was saying we're Americans, and the other one was saying we're Mexicans, we don't want to lose our roots. And so it was a continuous growth, but a lot of understanding and misunderstandings developed within the communication, or within the community, excuse me, and the communications started developing from there, mostly through the arts. People had a better understanding and acceptance. And so dance groups and mariachi groups really helped make that transition within the community.
There's no better way than to share the culture than to experience the celebration of mariachi music.
Back then, mostly were male musicians, and at that time here in Topeka, the girls started developing their own mariachi group.
Three of us, the three surviving, Teresa Cuevas, Rachel Sangalang, and myself, were in a choir, mixed choir with men, and I think we kind of wanted to do some of our own style and make suggestions, and didn't quite work out, so we thought we'd form our own, ask Father if we could have our separate mass. But there weren't enough of us, so we started looking for other people who would join. And the new people that joined didn't play instruments, didn't know how to play instruments. And we said, it's okay, we'll teach you. And my sister kind of just assigned them. You're going to play guitarón and you learn guitar. And
we just wanted somebody that played the instruments that we needed. We never said we wanted all women.
People that they brought in were people that they met through work or that they knew that played an instrument, and then they came in and started working together.
But what helped the most was having a father that was from Guatemala, and he started teaching us real happy songs in Spanish, and he encouraged us.
Almost everybody that plays mariachi in Mexico goes to church, and they want to play in church also. And so they adapt maybe the hymns to a mariachi style.
Then we all of us started liking the songs that we heard as young girls from the songs that our parents brought from Mexico. So we started playing some songs that we just heard from the records. And I started learning all those by heart. And then we started sounding pretty good. We didn't even have any music.
At practice, choir practice, we'd start just singing mariachi songs and thought, well, it'd be neat to have an all-female mariachi.
Then after it was all women, oh, we all got so happy it was all women.
Mariachi is always dominated by males, and I think there was only a few. This group, Mariachi Estrella, was one that really kind of shocked people because it was all female.
We were a novelty, I'm sure, because, yeah, it was always men.
After a few months, they decided, well, let's get a little more formal. So they got their mariachi outfits and started in playing gatherings throughout, and started becoming known. Males received it well because it was, for a while they thought it a novelty, but it wasn't a novelty. They didn't at that time consider it a competition. There was no other mariachis in the area, so there was no competition.
And the first time we went to Kansas City, people surrounded us. We couldn't even play. Gosh, we couldn't even play. They were all around us. And people were all hollering to think all these women are playing like that.
They were on the verge of getting a record contract when they went to Kansas City.
According to one eyewitness, the band was playing Duke Ellington's Satin Doll when the tune was suddenly shattered by a big snap and the sound of breaking glass. Those in the Hyatt Regency lobby said that when the first skywalk gave way, people began attempting to hold on. That first skywalk fell on another below, and then they both fell to the floor. All of that occurred in just a matter of seconds. Most of the dead were either on the skywalks or dancing on the floor below.
We started falling, and then you were going every which way. And I thought to myself, I'm buried in here. And I could move that. And then I was reaching out my hand, and a guy said, "Here's the live one, here's the live one." And then I grabbed his hand. It was terrible.
The following morning, my mom's sister, Andrea, called up to the house and said, you know, there was this hotel collapse in Kansas City, and that's where Linda, her band was playing, and we haven't heard from her yet. By the time we got back to Topeka, it was, yeah, she was dead.
My daughter is now 28. She was 4 months old, and she even says she saved my life, which she did, because I didn't go to Kansas City the day of the tragedy, because I was nursing her, and so I only went to play in town.
It's difficult on any family when you have a loss.
It was very hard. When I lost my cousin, I didn't ever want to look at another instrument.
You know, I remember it took a few months before it actually, you know, sunk in that I'm not going to see my mom ever again. Life moves on.
As much as we have to see things happen, I hate to see it happen, a family's got to move on.
I was reading Latina magazine, and they were talking about female mariachis, and there was a picture of Mariachi Estrella. And I thought that was so cool, because this was a national magazine, and this whole article was on, they had Mariachi Perlas from Guadalajara, and they had Mariachi Reina, and there was Mariachi Estrella. And I was like, wow, you know what? Nobody even knows about this. Not even in our own community. At the time, I was producing mariachi concerts in Topeka and Kansas City, and I thought, you know, wouldn't it be cool if I had some kind of reminder of this group and what they meant to this city. And so that's when I decided, you know what, I'm going to dedicate all the money we raise, and I'm going to build something. I didn't really want it to be a reminder of their death. I wanted it to be something that kind of a celebration of their life and of the group and what they meant, versus just the 4 that were killed at the Hyatt. That's why this statue represents the big, giant female mariachi singer represents the whole group, and the 4 are the relief of the 4 in bronze are those that passed away.
You know, it comes out that they were, like, you know, first all-female mariachi band, and there's now this statue in Topeka, and, you know, all this stuff. It's really great.
It's developed quite a bit now throughout the Midwest. Now we have groups from the borders of Texas and Mexico all the way up to the Canadian border.
I mean, I never heard any talk of, you know, we're breaking new ground or we're doing something cool. It was just, you know, we're having a lot of fun, and we really like spending time with each other and playing this music together, and we like sharing the music with people, and, you know.
We were so happy. And it was just silly things, and I think that's what guys do. They're having a good time and laughing. We weren't even drinking, we were having the time of our life.
And we'd all sing and laugh, and we had just such a good time.
Over the years, because the women have gotten more involved with mariachis, they're more acceptable now.
I now play with Mariachi Palomas, and it's all female.
It brought me a new way of life. It seemed to me that the music brought me something that made me real happy, that made me happy that I accomplished something.
We wanted some permanent reminder that this group existed and what they did for all the Hispanic Americans in Oakland and actually everybody in Topeka. I mean, they represented Topeka. That's why we put the statue here. It
was just a real black cloud for that first year, second year, and then after that it starts dissipating into a lighter clouds. So the memories are there, they never will be gone. And so this is what happens at Fiesta. We remember the past, we look forward to the future. And Mariachi Estrella will always be remembered, and it's part of the past, but it helps build up for the future.
fiesta de mi rancho. Con sus chinas, mariachis y canciones. Y esos charros que traen sombrero ancho. ¡Qué bonita! Esa yegua alazán y pajarera. De enseñarle a echar una mangana. Y netearle, quitarle lo matrera. Qué chula es la fiesta del Bajío. Ay, qué linda su sembra y su sol. Rinconcito que guarda el amor.